So brilliant, brilliant. Here we go. Let me grab my phone because I need to read you something. Okay. Morning, morning. So as you can see, I'm nursing a bit of an injury today, so I'll be modifying as such. It's been fine, so I'm sure I'll be okay. But just so you know. So I read something the other day. I'll just read it to you. I read something the other day, and it really kind of made me think about something I was watching on television. It all kind of came together. So the thing I read was someone once told me that human beings have three dimensions: how you see yourself, how others see you, and how you want others to see you. The closer the distance between the three dimensions, the more at peace you are and the more stable you become. And I really thought about that earlier in the week when Andrew and I caught a TV program with Rob Rinder and Rylan, who are both touring Italy, doing like the grand tour, looking at works of art together. And I don't know if any of you have watched it. It was the most unlikely coupling of presenters that you could ever put together. Rob Rinder is very erudite, publicly schooled, educated, he's a barrister. And then you've got Rylan, who came from a reality TV show background, has been on Big Brother, Essex boy, and proud of it. And the two of them just shouldn't work together, and yet they do beautifully. And it's a really heartwarming relationship between the two of them who just gelled and so supported one another. It's really beautiful. But I was listening to an interview with Rylan, who was talking about just that, how he is perceived in one way, and yet when he's not on the screen, he has a completely different person. In fact, he is known by his real name, Ross. His voice is different. He talks much more quietly, much softer spoken. It was really interesting, but he talked about how hard it was to sort of jump between those roles and the expectations of people when they meet him. And whilst I'm not suggesting for most of us that we have such an exaggerated alter ego, I think we all have these roles that we assume throughout life. You know, we're mothers, daughters, fathers, sons, workers, co-workers, sisters, brothers. And I think each of them come with a different set of expectations and almost a different mask, if you will, that we assume, or a mantle that we put on to fulfill the expectations of that role. And I think it's lovely in yoga. There's, if you think about those little Russian dolls where they all fit in and they get smaller and smaller, they're matryoshka dolls. But in yoga, there's a belief that we're all like that. We're all made up of many different layers. But in the center, your little doll, the smallest doll, is the thing that remains the same, the essence of you, the thing that nothing else, no one else can touch or change, the thing that makes you, you. Call it your buddhi in yoga. So think about today just what you need, no expectations, no pressure on yourself as to what yoga should be or what you ought to be doing. Really put any mantle or mask aside so you can really enjoy this practice for what you need today. So we're going to start lying down today. It's a lovely program, by the way, if you want a heartwarming program. Let's start by lying down. Give your knees a nice squeeze in towards your chest. And maybe just a little massage of your lower back against the floor there, so you can just have a little rock. And then when you've gently released any morning tension from your lower back, go ahead and bring your feet down to the floor. Now, if your back, like mine, doesn't really like being laid out flat first thing in the morning, then by all means keep your knees bent, your feet nice and wide apart so your inner knees can prop each other up there for a bit of support. Or if you do want to stretch the legs out, go ahead and do whatever feels right for you this morning. And let's just bring the arms wherever is comfortable, down by the side of the body or on your belly, on your chest, if you want that kind of reassuring warmth and weight. And taking that nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, just breathing away the week thus far. Really breathing away any, again, expectations, preconceptions of what a yogi has to do on the mat. You want to have a rest, take a child pose, skip a pose altogether, that's perfectly fine. Doesn't make us less of a yogi. It just means we're really beginning, in fact, to listen to our body, to the needs of our body, which change every time we come to the mat. So as you begin to deepen and lengthen each breath now, just laying aside any roles or responsibilities that you've had to assume this week, knowing that you can always pick them back up again at the end of the class, but really allowing yourself and giving yourself this time now. And just take a moment to tune into your breath, beginning to deepen and lengthen. Each inhale and every exhale, so just letting go any tension you might have brought to your practice this morning. Softening the face, down into the sides of the jaw, into the neck and the shoulders, arms, hands and the fingers, making sure you're not gripping anything. Really let that feeling of softness just take a moment to pervade the body. Setting that little intention that you'll really listen to what you need and take exactly what you need from the practice this morning, as we begin by just stretching the legs out in front of you. If you've not taken the arms back up above your head for a while, then you can always bring them out to the side if that's a little softer on your shoulders. Otherwise, coming into that lovely full body stretch, arms reaching back behind you. Have a little wiggle on the mat there, just getting yourselves into that lovely sense of space in front of you and behind you. And then just reaching to one side, so stretching the right side first, pushing the right heel away, reaching back through the fingertips. And then just swapping sides, pushing the left heel forwards as you reach and lengthen through the left side. And just do that a few times each side. As you stretch one side of the body, you can feel the other hip kind of sliding up the mat a little bit as you shorten one side of the waist and lengthen the other. And then coming all the way back to that lovely full body stretch. Maybe now point the toes, maybe even arch the back a little bit off the floor as you take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's lower the arms down by the side of the body, walk the feet in, hip distance apart now. It's realigning the back of the hips on the floor if you need to after being fully stretched out. Go ahead and bring that right knee in towards your chest. You can interlace the hands in front or behind the knee as you give that knee a little squeeze. As you squeeze that knee down towards you, just make sure that your chin hasn't suddenly shot up towards the ceiling. The neck has stayed nice and long. Then we'll release the foot to the floor and we'll swap sides. So bring that left knee up. As you squeeze that knee in, feel that nice stretch out through the low back. And then release the foot to the floor. Let's add the breath. So taking inhale. And as you exhale, bring that right knee up and in. Inhaling to release. And exhale to swap sides. Now, it's going to continue doing that. You might just want to move your knee this morning. Or as you exhale, maybe bring your nose towards your knee, rounding the spine. And then release the foot back down to the floor and lower the head and shoulders. Then we swap sides. So if you want to add that little curling up, nose towards knee, rounding the spine if that feels good this morning. And if that really isn't what your neck and shoulders want, then feel free to keep your head and shoulders on the floor. Otherwise, closing that gap between your nose and your knee, rounding up as you exhale and releasing as you inhale. We'll do one more with the right knee coming up and in, and then one more with the left knee. So there's no rush. You can hold behind the knee if you've got any knee issues, so you're not squashing the joint. One more with the left. And then we'll bring both feet back down to the floor and the arms down by the side of the body, palms flat. Just take a moment to lengthen your fingertips down towards your heels. Now pressing into the feet this time as you inhale, let's lift the hips up, coming into a little shoulder bridge as high as feels comfortable. And then as you exhale, really roll your way down nice and slowly, articulate your way down through the spine. And 2 more times. So as you inhale, you lift the hips, pressing into all 4 corners of the feet. And exhale to lower all the way back down. Lovely. Let's do that just 1 more time. Pushing those hips up as you inhale, little squeeze of your bottom. And then we'll come all the way back down. This time when your hips touch the floor, we're going to bring that right knee back up and in towards the chest. Head and shoulders stay on the floor this time. Just with your right hand, just start to circle the knee there. Taking it round, I'm just going to close the window. There's a little bit of extraneous noise on the outside. People started trimming their hedge very helpfully. Circling that right knee. Trying to keep the other knee nice and still, changing direction. So just guiding that knee round the opposite way. The joys of home practice, hey? And then we'll bring that knee in towards the chest, hold on around the back of the leg this time, and we'll take that leg up towards the ceiling. Just start to point and flex that right foot. And as you take the leg up, just press your lower back a little bit more firmly down into the mat there. Opening up into the back of the knee, and then we'll keep the foot flexed and bring that right ankle over the left knee and the arms out to the side level with your shoulders. Really press that knee away from you, and you might just want to stay there. Maybe just rocking the hips gently side to side, or you can interlace the hands around the back of that left thigh and bring that right shin a little closer in towards you. We're going to keep pressing that right knee all the way away from you, even if you've got that left foot off the floor. Bringing that nice stretch in that reclined pigeon. And then let's bring that left foot back down to the floor if you've lifted it up, and we'll bring the arms back out to the side level with the shoulders. Really press that right knee away from you as you inhale. And exhale, we're coming over to the right with the legs, so the knee is leading the way. Inhale through center, and then over to the other side, sole of the foot coming to the floor, and press that knee away from you. Lovely. Inhale to center, exhaling over to the right, coming up through center. And this time when you come over to the left side, we're going to pause. And instead of pressing that right knee away from you, angle it down towards you, and maybe even use that left hand on the top of your right knee to deepen that twist. Gently tugging that right knee down towards you, lengthening out through the right arm there. Feeling that nice stretch in the outer hip, maybe the outer thigh. And then slowly release. Let's come all the way back through the center. Bring that right foot down to the floor. We'll swap sides. So left knee, give it a squeeze. Again, soften the shoulders. And then we'll start those little knee circles. Other knee stays nice and still. I like to bring my left hand onto my right hand onto the top of my hip there, just to keep that right side stabilized. Then swap sides, swap directions. Take that knee round the opposite way. And then coming back to center, taking the hands around the back of the leg. Let's take that left leg up towards the ceiling. Lower back pressing down to the mat as you point and flex the foot. Nice stretch in the back of the leg there. That's it. And then when you flex the foot this next time, let's cross ankle over opposite knee. We'll press the knee away. And again, option to stay there. You can have the arms down by the side or out shoulder height, maybe moving from side to side as you rock from buttock to buttock. Or you can pick up that right foot and take your recline pigeon, bringing that left shin a little closer to you. But all the time we're pressing that knee away from you, opening up into the hip joint. Giving that knee a nice squeeze. Lovely. Let's release that right foot to the floor. We're going to keep the ankle over the knee as you bring the arms out level with the shoulders now. Press that knee away from you. We'll take an inhale. We're coming over to the left. As you exhale, knee leading the way. Inhale to center. Over to the right, and we're pressing that left knee up towards the ceiling there. Inhale to center. One more time over to the left. And this next time when you come over to the right, we're going to pause And again, just angle that left knee down towards you this time. And maybe use that right hand to gently pull that knee towards you a little more. Just feeling that nice twist, that nice release in the hip, around the spine there. Oh, that feels nice. And then we'll roll onto our backs, bring both knees up and in towards the chest now, one hand on each knee. You can either keep the knees together or like me, I'm going to take my knees in 2 individual circles. So you're starting either to circle the knees either together or like you're doing a big breaststroke. Now, whatever you're doing with the legs, just change direction. Nice circles there. And then bringing the knees in towards the chest. Lifting up your head and shoulders. See if you can close the gap between your nose and your knee. Rounding up into a tight, tight little ball. And then slowly, slowly release. Rock the head from side to side. And then find your way up to seated. You can hold behind your knees and roll your way up. Coming up to seated. Whatever configuration of the legs work for you today. And a little bit just to release any tension around the neck and the shoulders today. Bring your left hand over the top of the head, finding your right ear. That's it. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll take an inhale. As you exhale, take a little tug of the head over to the left. Inhale to center, we lift the head back up. And then we come over to the side. Lovely. One more time. Inhale to lift up. And exhale. This next time we're going to hold the head over to the left. And just start to roll that right shoulder. Just take some nice movements in the shoulder. Just rolling it one way. And then the other. Just feeling that nice release of tension. Try and keep the body nice and upright so we're not leaning to the left. And then go ahead and bring your right hand down to the floor and just see if you can creep it away from you a little bit. And sliding that left hand just behind the head now. I'm going to gently angle the head forwards, but keeping it on that slight angle so you're looking more down towards your left thigh there. Lovely, coming all the way back up. We'll swap sides. Right hand comes up and over, fingertips find the ear. Taking that inhale. And exhale, drawing the head over. Inhale to come up. And exhale, taking that little tug over the top. Lovely. One more time. Inhale to center. And exhale to tug. And again, we'll start those little shoulder rolls with the opposite shoulder. Trying to keep the chin lifted away from your chest as you just maybe move the opposite way if that feels good. And then bringing the left hand down to the floor, take a little creep away, see if you can deepen that stretch. And then hand behind the head, gently push the head forwards on that slight angle there, so you're getting that release all the way down the back of the neck. Lovely, coming all the way up through the middle. We're going to bring the left hand behind the head this time. Right hand can be on the thigh or just on the floor. We're going to draw that left elbow back. See if you can turn the body to the left as you inhale. And exhale, left elbow to your right knee. We're rounding the spine. Oh, inhale, we twist. Pull the elbow back. And exhale, elbow to opposite knee. Nice release. Deepen the low back there. One more. Inhale. And exhale to round. Beautiful. Coming all the way back up. We'll swap sides. Left hand down, right hand behind the head. So pull the elbow back. We twist to the right this time as you inhale. And exhaling, elbow to knee. You might notice, like me, that instantly you can feel that one side feels tighter than the other. We draw the elbow back. And then we round the spine. Lovely. One more time. Pulling the elbow back. And then rounding the spine. Coming all the way back through the center. Just bring the hands down, drop the chin to your chest, and just take a little roll of the head, maybe from side to side, or a little head roll there, whatever feels right. A couple of times just to release any tension. And then bringing the head to center, we're going to interlace the hands this time, pushing the palms forwards and up. Have that little wiggle across your sit bones to grow nice and tall, taking an inhale. And as you exhale, we're coming over to the right. Inhale to center and exhaling over to the left. Let's do one more each way. As you take that little side bend, just make sure that you're not lifting your sit bones up off the floor there. This time we'll come up through the center, separate the hands as you inhale. And take a twist. So left hand comes across your right knee. And we'll bring the other hand behind you. Just lifting up nice and tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can twist and turn a little more, maybe looking over that back shoulder. Nice. Let's take that right arm straight up to the sky and then leaning over to the side. Keep pressing that left knee down, deepening that stretch. Lovely. Coming all the way back up, back into our eagle arms now. So right arm over left arm. You can bring hands onto shoulders or you can take that little double wrap this morning. Now sliding the elbows forwards and up. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Taking a breath in. As you breathe out, we'll fold forwards. If you've got that little double wrap going on with your elbows, see if you can push the elbows slightly forwards and away from you, deepening that stretch between the shoulder blades. Lovely. Coming all the way back, releasing the arms, take a big circle up to the sky. And then bringing the hands behind you, pushing down into your hands, opening up through the chest, maybe lifting your gaze, taking that inhale. And as you exhale, push off the hands and bring them forwards, patting them away from you to find that forward fold over the legs. Bowing down, really drawing those hip bones back towards the floor. So again, we're not lifting the bottom. Lovely. Walking those hands back towards you. If you've got your legs crossed, just cross them the opposite way. You can always give those legs a little shake out in between. Lovely. Interlacing those hands, maybe sliding the little fingers along one so that interlace the awkward way as you take the arms up to the sky, taking that inhale and exhaling over to the left. Beautiful. Inhale to center and over to the right. Lovely. Let's do one more each way. Little stretch and lift, keeping those sit bones grounded. And one more to the right. Coming up through the center, separate those hands, breath in. A twist to the left this time. So right hand comes across the body, other hand behind you so you can sit yourself up nice and tall. Taking that inhale to lift and lengthen and exhale to twist and turn a little bit deeper perhaps. That's it. Then let's take that left arm up, leaning over the body. So you're just leaning over to the right there, pressing that thigh away from you so the knee doesn't pop up towards you. And then finding that eagle arms left on top of right, hands on shoulders, or adding that little double wrap. Sliding the elbows forwards and up, take that inhale. And exhale, we fold forwards, pressing the little finger edge of the hands away from you and sliding the elbows slightly forwards. Lovely, releasing those arms, take that big circle up to the sky, breath in. And breathing out, bring the hands behind you. Pushing into your hands, let's open the chest. And then pushing off the hands, bringing them in front of you. Maybe walk the hips back a little way so you can really surrender forwards into that forward fold, letting the head bow down. Brilliant. From there, we're going to find our way over onto all fours. So if your knees and ankles are okay, you can always roll over your knees and ankles. Coming onto all fours, spreading the hands nice and wide. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips there. Lovely, ready for our cat and our cow. So as we inhale, let's lift the chest, tilting the tailbone up and then exhale, rounding the spine. Lovely. Just continuing now, knowing that you can always widen your hands if you need a bit more space across the shoulders or chest today if you're feeling particularly tight there. Otherwise, hands under the shoulders, maybe closing down the eyes here as you enjoy that, rippling up and down the spine. Lovely. And the next time you're rounding the spine now, let's pause and bring your right knee in towards your chest, nose to knee. And then inhaling, take the toes up towards the ceiling as you lift your gaze. And exhaling, knee to chest, nose to knee. Lovely, our little tiger. Inhale to lift the toes. And exhale to round. Let's do that twice more. And the chest will open a little bit as you lift the toes up. The next time you've got your toes lifted, let's pause. You've got the option to stay there or reach the left arm forwards, turning the palm up to the ceiling. You're going to sweep the arm straight back behind you without twisting the hand. See if you can take hold of the outside of the foot, pushing your foot into your hand into your foot. Deepening that back bend. If that feels good. If you can't find your foot, keep the hand on the floor. Slowly release, coming back onto all fours. Inhale as you lift your chest. Exhale, round the spine, pausing there now, pressing into your hands as you bring that left knee in. Beautiful. Next, inhale, toes lift, chest opens, and then squeezing everything in. And again, inhale to lift the toes, lift the chest, and exhale to round. Lovely. Twice more, closing the gap underneath you every time. And this next time, we'll keep the toes pointed up towards the ceiling. You've got the option to stay there, or right arm this time reaches forwards. We turn the palm up, sweep the arm straight back behind you. See if you can take the outside of the foot, and then you push your foot into your hand into your foot. Beautiful. Slowly release. Coming onto all fours, taking that inhale. As you exhale, bottom to heels, coming into a child pose, sliding the arms forwards as you melt the head and chest down towards the floor. Lovely. A couple of nice deep breaths there. Now keeping that left arm in front of you, then bring the right arm down alongside you so you're reaching your fingertips back beyond your toes, your palm up towards the ceiling. Okay. Pressing into that left hand that's come all the way up, circling that right arm up to the sky, and then all the way forwards and down as you come back into that child pose. So inhale as you rise up, circling the arm, and exhale to come all the way back down. Lovely. Finding that nice movement in the shoulder. Let's do one more nice big full rotation. And then this next time you've got that right arm lifted, we're going to pause, taking that inhale. Exhale, let's feed the arm through, threading the needle. Twice more. Inhale to reach up, open the chest. And exhale to feed the arm through. Lovely. This next time we're going to hold in that thread needle, so reaching the arm up. Let's come down onto the side of the shoulder, the side of the head there. Keeping the left hand by the face, so you can gently press into your hand and lean into that right shoulder. You've got the option to keep the left hand on the floor, or you can reach the arm up to the sky. You can even wrap it behind your low back. Maybe even find the top of your right thigh there to open up the shoulder a little bit more deeply. Nice steady breaths. And then we'll bring that left hand down by your face, taking that right arm up to the ceiling one more time. And then bringing both hands back down underneath you, taking that inhale. And exhale, taking that child pose, bottom to heels. Reaching the arms out in front of you. Again, just pausing there for a moment. And then this time we'll swap sides. So right arm stays where it is, left arm feet all the way back behind you. Palm up. Let's rise on up, circling that left arm all the way up to the top of the mat. And then all the way back down as you take that child pose. And again, inhale to reach up. And exhale to circle. Lovely. Couple more times. Really enjoying that movement into the shoulder. Lovely. This next time we've got that left arm lifted up. We'll pause, opening the chest. Inhale. Exhale, let's thread left arm under right arm, reaching fingertips away. Inhale to reach up. Open the chest. And exhale to feed it through. Lovely. This next time we'll hold, so taking the arm up. Then sliding the hands underneath you, coming down onto the side of the shoulder, the side of the head. And just gently press into that right hand so you can lean into that left shoulder. You can reach that right arm up to the ceiling. You can even wrap it behind your low back and find the top of the opposite thigh if that feels good. Enjoying that stretch in the shoulder. And then bringing that right hand down. Let's open that left arm one more time, all the way up to the ceiling. And then bringing both hands down underneath you. Let's tuck the toes under. Taking an inhale as you lift your chest. And as you exhale, let's find a downward dog, or you can stay on all fours today. If you're in that downward dog, just start to walk out your dog, bending one knee and then the other. Pressing the heels down towards the floor as you send those hips up and back. Beautiful. And then pausing in that downward dog, taking a nice breath in. As you breathe out, see if you can send those heels down towards the floor, stretching up through the back of the leg. And then let's bend just the right knee. So you're stretching that left heel a little bit more towards the floor. And taking that right leg up to the sky behind you. And then step or help it forwards between your hands. Give it a help if it doesn't get there, lowering the back knee and flattening the toes. Take the arms up to the sky, bending the elbows, and see if you can catch hold of opposite elbow. And then push your elbows into your hands. And we'll take a little side stretch to the right. So you're really opening up through that left hip. Come back to the center, reach the arms up. This time we'll take a little cactus. So as you pull the elbows down, maybe allow the hips to sink. Lovely. Pushing into that front foot, take the arms up. Hands come down. And then lift the back knee. And come into a flat back at the top of the mat. Nice long spine, and then fold over the legs. Rising up to stand, sweeping those arms all the way out and up. And then hands coming down to heart. Lovely. We're coming back the way we came. So arms circle all the way out and up. And this time we'll take that dive down over the legs. Coming into that flat back. And then right leg this time, slide or step it back. Again, lower the knee. Untuck the toes, arms lift up. Catching hold of those elbows, pushing elbows into hands. This time we're going to stretch to the left. Lovely, coming up through the center, separating those hands. And again, as you take that cactus, you can let the hips sink. Lovely, rising up with those arms. Hands come down, lift the back knee. We meet in downward dog or all fours. This time from your downward dog, let's roll forwards to plank. Shoulders over your wrists, and then knees down, chest down. Flattening your toes, really keep those tops of the feet pressing into the mat now as you squeeze the elbows in towards you. Just hover your hands a few inches off the floor. And now lift your chest, lift your head, keep the gaze down, really feel the muscles of the back working. Option to stay there, or slide the hands towards your ribs. Bring them down on the mat so you can push yourself up into a little baby cobra. And then roll your way back down. Beautiful, onto all fours. And from all fours, your downward dog, or you can stay on all fours, whatever works for you. Take that little pedal out through the feet. You're bumping of the hips from side to side if that feels good this morning. And then let's bend your left knee this time. So your right heel is pressing towards the floor. Left leg to sky. And then step or help that leg forwards. Woo, give it a hand if it doesn't get there. Lowering that back knee and flattening the toes. We're going to circle the arms up to the sky, catching hold of your elbows. Pushing elbows into hands. This time we're coming over to the left. Taking that little side bend and then up through the center, reaching the arms up. As you take that cactus again, maybe the hips sink. Pushing the floor away, arms lift. Hands come down and we find our flat back. Stepping to the top of the mat and then fold down over the legs. You're going to rise up to stand, really pressing into your feet, sweeping the arms all the way up. And then hands coming down to heart. Beautiful. Back the way we came, arms lift up. Straight down into your forward fold. Take that deep dive down, lifting up halfway. Left leg, slide or step it back. Bring the knee down, flatten the toes. Arms lift up. Bending those elbows, pushing the elbows up as we come over to the right. And then arms lift up, palms face forwards. Bring the elbows down, let the hips sink. Lovely, arms lift up. Hands come down, we meet in downward dog or all fours. Your choice this morning, listen to your body. Rolling forwards to plank. Knees down, chest down. Keep those elbows tucked in as you flatten the toes. Squeeze the elbows in, hover the hands, and then lift head and shoulders. Lift your chest, keep the gaze down, and then slide those hands back towards you, planting the hands so you can push back up into that little cobra, and then roll back down. Coming onto all fours, we'll meet in downward dog. From downward dog, walk your hands to your feet. So you're at the back of the mat. You can bend your knees, cradle your elbows, and just let the body sway from side to side there. Just take that nice, easy, breezy forward fold, knees deeply bent there. Lovely. Then releasing the elbows, let's slowly roll our way up to stand. So at the back of the mat. Lovely, circling those arms all the way out and up. And then bringing the hands down to the heart. Okay, we're going to take the arms up, palms forwards, catching hold of your right wrist. Going to take a little tug up and then come over the top. Lovely, back through the center. Catching hold of left wrist, tugging up, and then pushing the hips away. Lovely, coming all the way up. Catching hold of that right wrist, we're going to come over into that side bend and now turning the chest towards the floor. Reach over slightly on the diagonal. So we're getting a nice release into the low back, taking that stretch down a little lower. Coming all the way back up nice and slowly, and then swapping sides over into that side bend. And then you turn your chest down, pushing the arms slightly over on the diagonal. And then coming all the way up, separate the hands, bringing the hands behind you this time so you can interlace them. Taking that inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, let your body drape over the legs as you take the arms up and over, really push the knuckles away from you. Lovely, release the hands. Let's sweep the arms all the way up to the sky, taking that inhale. And exhale, hands coming to heart. Lovely, and again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swim the hands behind you, this time changing the interlace around, again, the awkward way. Draw those knuckles down, inhale. And exhale to fold. Remember, you can always let the arms dangle in front of you if your shoulders don't like this. Again, pushing those knuckles away from you, maybe straightening the legs a little bit more this time, feeling that stretch in the hamstrings. And then releasing the arms, taking those arms all the way up to the sky. And exhaling, hands to heart. Adding on, inhale, taking the arms up. This time as you exhale, bring the hands down and we're going to walk back into our downward dog. So take a little walk of the hands forwards. Back into your downward dog. I'm going to repeat that little flow we've just done, but a little faster. One movement, one breath. So right leg to sky, taking that inhale. And as you exhale, step or help it forwards, top of the mat, dropping the knee. Inhale, reaching up, clasping elbows. And as you exhale, we take that side stretch to the right. Inhaling up, separating the arms, and exhaling, taking that little cactus. Beautiful. Inhale to push the arms up. And exhale, bring the hands down, and we'll pick up that back knee. Ready for our flat back as you inhale, top of the mat, and exhale to fold. Let's rise on up. And hands to heart. Exhale, back the way we came, reaching those arms up, breath in. All the way down, breathing out. Lifting up halfway. And exhaling, let's slide or step the right leg back, dropping the knee. Arms lift up. Inhale, catching elbows. Exhale this time over to the left with that side stretch. Arms reach up, inhale. And exhale, opening the chest. Beautiful, arms reach up. And as you exhale, bring the hands down and we meet in downward dog or all fours. Ready for plank. Inhale, roll forwards. Knees lifted or lowered as you come down onto the mat. Inhaling into your cobra or maybe an upward dog this morning if that feels good. We meet in downward facing dog. Take a couple of nice deep breaths there. Sending those hips all the way up and back. Now let's try the other side. So left leg to sky as you inhale. Exhale, step or help it forwards, lower the back knee. Reaching those arms up. catching the elbows. And exhaling, taking that side stretch to the left. Inhale through center. And again, exhale, nice opening through the chest. Lovely, arms reach up. And exhaling, bringing the hands down. Let's pick up the back knee. Ready for that flat back as you inhale. And exhale to fold. Lovely, let's rise on up. And exhaling, hands to heart. Just one more time. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale to fold. Lifting up halfway, breath in. Left leg, slide or step it back. Last time through. Reaching those arms up. And exhaling over to the right. Nice big side stretch. Beautiful. Inhale, reaching up. Last time to take that little cactus. Beautiful. Inhaling, reaching up. And exhale, meeting in downward dog or all fours. Ready for that plank. Remember, you can always miss them out. Inhale, roll forwards. Exhale to come down. Beautiful. Inhaling into your cobra, your upward dog. We meet in downward facing dog. Let's take a couple of nice landing breaths there in your downward dog. And then take a walk forwards this time, feet coming towards your hands, coming to the top of the mat. I'm just going to swap into the mat. Again, you can take that little sway as you find that forward fold. And then letting those elbows go, let's roll our way up so we all meet in that mountain pose at the top of the mat. Lovely, have a little shoulder roll there. Gorgeous team. Beautiful. So interlacing the hands behind you. This time we're going to stay upright, but just tug the knuckles straight down behind you. And then keeping the chest square to me, take that breath in. As you breathe out, we're just going to look over your right shoulder. Try and keep the chin level to the floor, through the middle. And exhaling to the left. Let's do that one more time each way, getting that nice release in the neck. Nice stretch into the chest. And over that left shoulder. Coming all the way back. Release the arms, give them a little shake. And then bringing the hands together at the heart. Let's find your foundations now. So maybe even look down at your toes. Lift your toes off the mat. And see if you can bring them down one by one, starting with a little toe. It's remarkably difficult. Spreading your toes. You might even see the colour of the mat between your toes there. And then lifting up nice and tall through the chest. Shifting your weight into your left foot. And lift your right heel up off the floor. Just make sure you've not pushed your hips out to the left there. And maybe you stay there today, or see if you can lift that right knee up. But extend the arms up towards the ceiling, coming into that one-legged mountain pose. Lovely. Now slowly start to kick that leg back. As you sweep the arms back alongside you, coming into your warrior three. Softness in that front knee. You can always tap the toes down, remember. And let's take a big stride back with that right foot, bringing the ball of the foot to the floor. Sweeping your arms up as you inhale into that high lunge. As you exhale, drop that right heel in, opening the arms into your warrior two. So have a little movement of that front foot, just bring it to the middle of your mat there. Taking an inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can push that front knee a little further forwards. Lovely, left palm reaches up. And as you inhale, let's reverse our warrior, reaching up and back. And then exhaling, coming forwards over that front thigh, top arm up, or up and over. Lovely, one more each way. Inhale, reaching up and back. And exhale, coming forwards and down. Lovely, meeting in your warrior two, and straightening the legs, turning all 10 toes to the long edge of the mat. Let's reach the arms up. And as you exhale, pushing the hips back, finding that forward fold, fingertips coming down to the floor, or you can bring them onto your thighs, your shins. Just start to move the hips from side to side, bending one knee and then the other, as low as feels comfortable for you today. That's it. And then coming to center, Just lifting yourself up on your fingertips, you can lift your chest as you breathe in. As you breathe out, let the body melt down into that fold. You can keep the hands where they are or take hold of your ankles or even take the hands back between the legs with your fingertips facing away from you, finding a little deeper forward fold there. Then let's walk the hands back under the shoulders. Now, if you're really wide apart with your legs, you might want to slightly shorten your stance. Coming into our goddess, so our heels in, toes out. Let's come all the way up to stand, straightening those legs, sweeping the arms up to the sky. Inhale, palms together as you bring them to your heart, and bend the knees. Taking care you're not pushing the bottom back behind you. Inhale to reach up. And exhale, let's come into that cactus again as you bend the elbows into that goddess. Lovely. Arms lift up, legs straighten. Inhale. Palms touch as you bring them down to your heart, sinking a little deeper into those legs. Lovely. One more time. Inhale. Exhaling, taking that cactus. Lovely. Arms lift up, turn the toes forwards. And exhale, turning that left foot forwards back into your warrior two. That's it, lovely. Left arm reaches up and back. And as you exhale, bring the hands down. Option downward dog or three-legged dog. Front leg to sky. Rolling forwards to that plank as you lower the foot. Exhale, coming down onto your mat. Elbow squeeze the body, finding your cobra or your upward dog. We'll meet in that downward facing dog. Now you know your energy levels, so you decide as you bring your feet together, bend your knees, look forwards, and as you inhale, walk, step, or a little hop to the top of the mat. That's it, and exhale to fold. Let's rise up, all the way up. And hands coming down to heart. Let me swap sides so I can mirror you. Again, pausing there for a moment as you find your foundations. Nice and firm through the feet, lifted through the chest. So this time as you lift your left heel up off the floor, this side might feel very different, so option to stay there, or lift the knee. A little flex in the foot as you take those arms up into your one-legged mountain pose. And then slowly, slowly start to kick the leg back, sweeping the arms back alongside you, a little softness in that front knee. And then let's take a big step back, bringing the ball of the foot to the floor. Arms lift up into that high lunge. And then opening up into your warrior two, walking that right foot to the middle of the mat as you split the arms. Lovely, taking that inhale. And exhale, see if you can come down a little lower. That's it. Let's turn that right palm up. And coming all the way up into that reverse warrior. Beautiful. Forwards into your side angle and your forearm to thigh. Inhale as you reach all the way up and back. Let's do that one more time. Strong in the legs. And exhale, forwards and down. Lovely, back into your warrior. Just straighten the legs, turn the toes forwards, and option this time to interlace the hands behind your back. Draw the knuckles down, open the chest, breath in. And then we fold forwards again, lifting the arms up and over. If you want to bring the fingertips to the floor, feel free as we just take that little bend in one knee and then the other, moving those hips from side to side. Keep pushing those knuckles away from you if you've got your arms lifted. Only if that feels good. And then coming to center, let's all bring the hands down, walking them a little further forwards this time so you can lengthen the chest, hands underneath the shoulders. Weight in the heels, right arm lifts. Inhale into that twist. And exhale, let's bring the hand down. Other side, so you're reaching the arm up to the sky. And then lowering down. Lovely. One more each way. Big stretch up. And then coming all the way down. Let's do that one more time. And this next time as you bring the hands down, again, shorten your stance, heels in, toes out, ready to rise up. Reaching the arms up, hands together, down to your heart as you sink into your warrior. Lovely, reaching the arms up, take that inhale and into that lovely goddess. This time we cactus the arms. Inhaling up, one more each way. So we bring the hands to the heart, sinking a little deeper, really pressing the knees to the little toes. Come all the way up. And this time we're going to hold in that goddess, elbows roughly level with the shoulders. See if you can lift your right heel and then drop it down. And then the left heel and drop it down. And then see if you can lift both heels. Woo-hoo-hoo, a little balance. Lower the heels. Let's take the arms up, turn the toes forwards. And then coming into our warrior two, this time our right foot again, facing forwards. Lovely. Inhale, right arm up and back. Exhale, bringing the hands down. We meet in downward dog or that three-legged dog, front leg to sky. Inhale, roll forwards. Last time through. Exhale to come down onto your chest. Lovely. Inhale into your cobra, your upward dog. We meet in downward facing dog. Lovely. From your downward dog, bring your feet to your knees together. And then walk your hands back towards your feet, bending your knees and sinking your bottom down towards your heels. So we meet in a little squat position. Rounding over the knees. Just see if you can bring your fingertips to the floor and lift the chest up. Now maybe you'll stay there, or maybe you can bring your fingertips to your knees, pressing the knees away from you as you lift your chest. And maybe you can bring your hands to your heart. Oh, lovely. Maybe from there you can explore a little twist to the right. Come back to center. And then take a little twist to the left. Come back to center. Bring the hands down. Bring the heels down. Bring the bottom down as elegantly as you can, and then extend the legs. Woo! Give it a little shake. Well done, team. So with the legs out in front of you, remember you can bend your knees as much as you need to. Let's circle the arms out and up. Ready for that forward fold. Remembering you can always bend your knees and hug around the back of the legs if that's more comfortable for your hamstrings today. Just closing down the eyes and starting to bring the awareness back to your breath now. Deepening and lengthening the inhale and the exhale. That's lovely. And slowly walking the hands all the way back up. Let's bring that right knee in towards your chest, opening the knee out to the side and taking that left leg out in the diagonal there. So making sure you're sitting up nice and tall on your sit bones. Left hand on the leg, taking that right arm up and come over the top into a nice side bend. Coming all the way up, right hand behind the hip. Left arm this time reaches all the way up and back. Lovely. Inhale through center. Exhale as you come over to the left. Inhale to center. As you bring the right hand down this time, option to stay there or push off the hand and lift the hips, coming into that little back bend. Slowly lower all the way down. And bringing the fingertips in front of you, toes stay up towards the ceiling. See if you can take a little walk forwards. You probably won't be able to go too far before that left sit bone wants to lift off the floor. So really keep your hips grounded as you just melt forwards. Keeping those toes up towards the ceiling there. And then we'll walk the hands back. And we'll swap sides. So left heel comes in, right leg out on the diagonal, toes up towards the ceiling. Right hand above or below the knee, somewhere on the leg there. Left arm reaches up. We take that lovely side bend. Coming all the way up, hand behind the hip. And we take the arm up to the sky. Inhale to center. Exhaling over to the right. Inhale to center. This time as you exhale and lift the arm, option to lift the hips and come into that little back bend. Lovely, coming all the way down. Looking the toes up towards the ceiling and the hip bones grounded. We take that little forward fold, pushing the hips back as you melt forwards over the legs. Keep pushing those hip bones back. That's it. And then walking the hands all the way back. Lovely, lovely. Let's bring the feet to the floor and give yourself a nice hug over the legs. And then from there, bringing your heels to the top of the mat. Legs nice and straight. Let's reach the arms in front, tuck the chin in. As you roll down onto your back, see if you can really articulate through the spine. So each little vertebrae coming down one by one, slowly, slowly, and then taking the arms back above the head into that lovely full body stretch. And again, have a little wiggle on the mat there. Lovely. And then from there, let's lower the arms. And then bring your right knee up and in towards the chest, giving that knee a nice hug. Holding again in front or behind the knee. Just stretch out nice and long through that left leg. Maybe even flex the foot a little bit more strongly there. And then left hand on that right knee. Let's come into a little twist. You might want to move your hips slightly over to the right side of your mat to find that twist there. That's it. And slowly, slowly roll onto your mat. Rolling onto your backs, and then we'll swap sides. So bringing that left knee up and in, stretching that right heel away from you. Let's take care again that the upper body hasn't suddenly tightened there. And then right hand on the knee. Let's bring that knee over the body, maybe moving the hips a little bit over to the left there to find more space. That's rolling onto your back, keeping that knee hugged in towards the chest. Bring the other knee up to join it. And then we'll separate the knees, big toes touch, so you can slide your hands down towards the top of your ankles. And then pressing your heels down towards your bottom, sending those knees out nice and wide. Really try and release your low back towards the floor, and you might stay there or join me in a happy baby. Soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. You can hold behind your shins, your knees. Or you can hold on to the outside edges of your feet there. And again, we're trying to drop the tailbone down toward the floor. Lovely, slowly release. Give those knees a little hug, maybe a little massage of the back against the floor. A little circle of the knees if that feels good. And go ahead and bring your feet down to the floor. You can keep the knees bent, or again, extending the legs out nice and long, whatever works for you. Nice. Just taking that nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, just letting the whole of the back body surrender into the floor there. Closing down the eyes. And taking a few more moments for yourself before we once more assume those roles, those mantles that we might have to do for the rest of the day. But just for now, enjoying a few moments where you can be utterly at ease with yourself. When you're ready, just start to deepen and lengthen your breath. Bringing a little bit of movement to your fingers, your toes. Maybe a little roll across the back of the head. Bringing your knees in towards your chest, one at a time. Have a little massage of your back against the floor. And rolling to lie on one side, coming up to seated when you're ready. Let's bring the hands together at the heart when you get there, letting your chin drop down towards your fingertips. I'll leave you words from an American poet and writer, Ralph Waldo Emerson, who wrote, "Take care of yourself, for that is all there is of you." So let's take a nice deep breath in, circling the arms all the way out and up. Hands to heart. Wishing one another a peaceful end to the week. And namaste. Thank you, team. Thank you, thank you. There we go.
Thank you, Helen.
Thanks.